revolutionize the way in which information is delivered to the workplace.
It's going to completely change the way that IT managers gather their information. From now on, IT directors and managers, whether they're based in Manchester or whether they're based in Madrid, are going to be able to visit conferences, attend seminars, visit exhibitions without even leaving their office.
Well, obviously, it's going to radically change the way they receive information to make the vital decisions at the end of the day. And that may be something you've heard before, but this time round, we're going to pick out the meaningful facts out of the endless waffle you get from day to day.
55 degrees at Logan Airport. The skies are partly cloudy and the winds are out of the east. Let's check WEEI business from Wall Street now.
In the United States, the value of using satellite communications for training in a business environment has been proven. There are more than 20 subscription channels dealing with training for lawyers, bankers, hospital staff, and even car salesmen. For the financial community too, this new application of technology is now a part of everyday working life. The total output of these channels is greater than all the hours of the UK's 4 channels put together, and one of those American channels is for IT training.
Intel Corporation introduces a new integrated technology which we call DVI.
The computer professional today faces a bewildering array of paper information, a low-tech approach, if you like, to a very high-tech industry. You only have to look at these shelves that are laden with books, and to these publications, which are often very quickly out of date and don't necessarily give you key information quickly. In fact, print isn't always the best means of communicating specific technical data, perhaps describing a screen display or letting a bit of human personality shine through. And some managers find there are also problems with other current training and communications methods. Seminars, conferences and courses usually take people away from the workplace. They're often too general and too widely based for individual requirements and can be very expensive. We all like going to exhibitions, but who can spare the time? The ones that are easily accessible may not be appropriate, and the one you need to go to is inevitably the furthest away. Even if you do get there, there's no guarantee you'll be able to make the right contacts.
I think that frequently the presenters are not particularly good. I think the information that they provide is sometimes very orientated towards their own product, and even though they're not supposed to be there presenting their own product to provide it, you can hear that through what's going on. And sometimes they lack credibility. There's a veneer where you can ask a question and they patently don't really know the answer. What they actually have is a script.
Often these seminars are run on a one-off basis, and if you send somebody onto one of those seminars, it's difficult to get the information disseminated amongst other people who maybe ought to go on that course.
I work some 400 or so yards from the Barbican, and even that is a major distance to travel to some seminar or some show exhibition where I know there may be 1 or 2 things there that I want to see, but it'll probably take me 2 hours to get there and back in the end by the time I've registered and everything else.
Yet despite the problems of management training, its need has never been greater, according to the British Computer Society.
I suppose the whole point about IT managers is that at one time we were worried about the technology per se, but now we're much more concerned with the management of people, you know, that magic word management all the time, and the use of applications, getting those actually running in a good timescale.
The need for a channel to service the IT world is powerfully supported by extensive independent research. This found that conferences were rarely independent, being more often promotional presentations from manufacturers and suppliers. Conferences were often expensive, many being held in London and requiring overnight stays. Some are booked up long in advance, and many don't include up-to-date information because they're planned months before they take place. In addition, managers find it inconvenient if they only need to see a couple of sessions from a 2 or 3 day seminar, especially if these are on different days. The problems highlighted by their research needed to be solved if the computer channel was to be a success. Only in this way could those behind the proposed channel hope to satisfy the demands of the industry they would serve. They isolated 5 main objectives, which needed to be achieved at economical cost if the market was to be satisfied. The programs had to be presented by recognized experts from within the computer industry. They had to be delivered direct into offices and training centers. They must be interactive to encourage questions. The programmes must be up to date, and the output should be truly international. But the research also highlighted some concerns about the role television can play. Skeptics said that television would never replace attending a conference, that being at the right seminar is more important than any travel cost saving, and that television is simply too trivial.
It's true. Television is normally associated with low-value information in a domestic environment and at next to no cost. VDUs, however, are associated with high-value information in an office environment and usually at extremely high cost. The difference between the two is just our attitudes, and I think those attitudes are changing. It wasn't very long ago, for example, that videotape was novel in companies. Now it's a standard part of every company's training.
So why not just send videotapes then?
Well, really, because the key to effective training is two-way communication, and videotape, like print, is a one-way communication. Our programs are going to be two-way because they're going to offer the viewers, wherever they are around Europe, to be able to communicate back to the experts in the studio and ask questions to clarify the points, just like good training.
But surely that's not like being at a seminar at all.
Well, no, it isn't. Many people like going to seminars to be seen, to hand their business cards round, to collar the speaker at coffee times. But those people who do that are not really our market. We're really after the IT professionals who don't have the time or the money to waste leaving the office.
So how's this going to save money?
Because the way we're charging for the service is to charge the equivalent of a delegate place at a conference. But because it's broadcast directly to a customer's offices, everybody who needs to know or benefit from the information of that office will be able to see it at the same time. But the point of the computer channel isn't just about saving time and money. What we're really doing is creating a European forum for the computer industry. What that actually means is that many of the ideas that we've thought up so far are probably not the best ideas we're going to see. Those best ideas will probably come from our own market.
The single European